Hello and welcome to DCP Live episode number 193. It's it's middle June. We got EK. EK, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite. I appreciate it, guys.
we had a little misschedule last week, right?
Yeah. I was dreaming.
Dreaming? Nice.
Yeah.
You'd done like a 24-hour stream or something like the day before.
Yeah, it was a 29-hour stream. But that's
a long stream.
The new stuff dropped, so it's like, yeah. Time flies. You forget that time is a thing. Just go to sleep.
That is what happens.
I don't forget for 29 hours.
No, I understand. When you're in the zone, time just becomes blurry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, my stomach is like, it's time to eat.
Yeah. My stomach lets me know it's time for me to go have an actual meal and sit down and enjoy it and decompress.
Yeah.
Right. My ass is like, it's time to stand up.
Yeah, that's the thing. So I have a sit-stand desk. So like half of the time I'm like standing and sometimes I'm sitting. And then like I bought like the big jugs of water. So I have like, I think 30 packs or something like that. They're just like here. So just like a bunch of water just on the ground, just drink and just like throw a bottle, grab another two. I do my best to stay hydrated. So it's just like before I just forget. I'm putting energy in and I'm moving. So then like, oh snap, it's been like 20 hours. Oh, okay. Let me get off.
How many times have you done like a super long stream at this point?
When Grandmasters were a thing, I think I did like 225s back to back just randomly. I don't know. Dang. Time just flies. And then like I do long streams. I don't know what it is. It just happens.
So obviously there's, health concerns with doing super long streams and all that. But let's say someone's looking for advice on how to achieve long streams, I don't even know if you could do it, say, comfortably, but like, do you have any advice for people looking to be able to do a 24-hour stream?
I would say definitely have a healthy routine, because when I get up each morning, I go take a shower, I brush my teeth, I have like this push-up machine thing or whatever. So I do my push-ups, I do my ab workout, and then I get on and stream. But during stream, I make sure that I stand for at least 2 to 3 hours. Mm-hmm. And hydration is key to everything. Because if you're not hydrated, then you're not going to have like the energy to keep going either. Yeah. So food is also energy. I'm 6'5", so I definitely need energy all the time. And I can see, like, I can feel it when I'm getting tired. I'm like, all right, cool. It's time to like slow down, because I know that like maybe I don't have enough energy anymore. So I guess just know your limits too, right? It's not just like, oh, I want to stream long hours, so you keep looking at the time or anything like that. Like I said, time just gradually passes by as I'm just playing.
Yes,
so I guess,
29 hours.
Yeah, 29 hours. You just said you're 6'5". I honestly was surprised. I would have guessed higher on that.
Yeah, that's good stuff. That's awesome, man. Have you been enjoying the new season?
Oh yeah, the new season is pretty neat. But I feel like there's not gonna be much else. It's been 2 weeks already, right? And I feel like we kind of got like almost everything. So I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's kind of my impression too. How things have been. Yeah. Like I don't know what surprises are possibly going to show up in the summer aside from solstice.
It's going to be like a solstice, yeah.
Oh, that is true. They are going to be doing something like that too.
Yep,
but
solstice.
I'm just hoping, even like story-wise, since we're going to be going into September with some craziness happening, I hope they can kind of like have us go through this season with a lot of lore and a lot of story, a lot of hidden things. The dungeon was freaking awesome. So
yeah.
I'm hoping they can capitalize on a few more things like that, especially when I watch Bife and then like understand, where the dungeon boss comes from and all of that. It's pretty neat because it ties into the entire game, especially next season as well.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I would really like to see some sort of was it with Forsaken? They had like a kind of a little ramp up. They've done it a few times with various DLCs, and they usually do into like the September stuff. But I really like to see an awesome transition and reveal some things, or just give us a little sprinkle of some stuff.
Yeah, if they can sprinkle some stuff here, some stuff there, like that would be pretty awesome. Because then that gives us something to look forward to. So each week we're like, oh man, this is like actually like ramping up, because that hour and 30 of what we watched the live event, it was cool. Like then it was really cool, but the ramp up was kind of, yeah. So I hope, you know, during the season they just kind of like leave little things here and there. Like what today they said the Hawkmoon was coming out and they showed us like these other guns or like one gun type. So if they can like just give us hints here and there, it would be pretty awesome. Because then that basically has people kind of still interested in what's going on in the game, right?
Yeah,
even with the, I think it was the trace rifle. Even with that trace rifle, like no one knows, you know, when we're gonna get it. So it's cool.
That's a good point. Like we have the trace rifle to look forward to. I think there's like a sidearm or something.
There's a sidearm.
Yep. Yeah.
Exotic, right? Yeah, that's going to be coming this summer at some time. So there's stuff to look forward to. But I've looked at it as like it's not exactly menagerie level. I mean, the rewards are great for this season. Loving that, and just like I said, the dungeon is fantastic. But I'm not seeing it as like 3 months worth of grind.
3 months worth of it,
You know what I mean?
It almost seems like after a month where you're just gonna be like, okay, cool, we're kind of done. And then what is it? I think Grandmasters are July 27th. So like that might be something to do maybe the first 6 weeks for people that are not conquerors. But then I don't know what else is there. Maybe Traveler's Chosen and this trace rifle will kind of bring that in.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's gonna be a community event because they've been doing that since the previous season. So
do you think it's going to tie into Solstice though? Like maybe Solstice will be revamped a little bit and it'll probably be community, because they did that last Solstice, right?
I think so.
Yeah, they're blending in.
But then, well, we had Solstice. Then we have like that whole land on like the EDZ as well.
Yeah,
which is pretty neat. So
that
maybe
cool.
Maybe we're gonna get like a new area. That'll be pretty cool.
That would be good.
Yeah. And if they do Moments of Triumph, that's more things to kind of keep us busy as well. It might be like the same repetitive stuff that we did in the past, but still, that's still something to do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, seeing the expansion or the what is it called again? I'm always forgetting. Something light, falling light,
beyond light,
beyond light.
Of like new light, falling lights. You know, like I keep forgetting these versions of it. But yeah, because they dropped that news and the 3 years scheduled of hype coming for Destiny, that like stoked my interest of like, okay, I want to get all my stuff ready for the next season. Anything that's going to get sunsetted, I want to make sure I have a replacement for by the end of this season. You know?
Yeah, it was cool to see like they had like a long-term plan. And it's not like they're just like trying to like run us around and they don't have any ideas or any focus. They have one, so they just want to kind of capitalize on it. That was pretty neat, you know?
Yeah.
And then like you have the random people like, well, you know, what's gonna happen after that? Dude, like that's like 3 years or something like that. What's gonna happen after that? Like, what's wrong with you, man?
I have seen a lot of that.
It's 3 years. Just a long time.
It's like a clickbait video being like, Destiny 2 is dead. 3 years from now or something like that. The end of Destiny 2. It's like, huh?
Yep.
Oh, that's funny.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's pretty odd. Like when people see stuff like that, they're just like, that's the first thing that they think. I'm like, dude, are you serious?
Yeah.
Did you see the hype for the things that we're gonna get?
After 3 incredible expansions, the game's dead. Sorry, man. They're never making another game.
Calling it now. Call the forecast.
Forecasting Bungie's decisions, right?
Yeah.
How do you?
I gotta say though, knowing that the new expansion is coming, and along with that, the Umbral Engram system has motivated me to play more Destiny this season than I've played in like the last few.
Yeah.
I'm super interested in the story this season too, right? Because we're getting this kind of weekly story hit, and we know that that's leading up to September, and we know what September is. So it's kind of just exciting to see, okay, so what's going to happen in the story leading up to this big drop. So yeah, the same, Briar. There's been a few reasons why I'm like, I just want to get on and play some more Destiny.
Yeah. Like I said,
even with like, I was gonna say, even with FCBMM, like, I know a lot of friends that are like, oh man, I can actually like jump in like quick play, have some fun today.
Yeah.
So that's another like cool thing. I seen some backlash. Some guy was like, I haven't won a game since they changed it. I was like, no comment. Just go back in there.
I got good news and I got bad news. The good news is they got rid of skill-based matchmaking. The bad news is you needed it.
Oh man, we haven't had a chance to talk about this yet, right? On the podcast, SBMM or our experiences. Maybe did we talk about it last week? I don't remember.
We did talk
It
about
like
it, but
happened
you
an
guys hadn't
hour
played
before.
much. Yeah.
Yeah,
I hadn't
You guys
played it all.
played
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
So it's a very noticeable, and it was interesting seeing the changes. It's amazing being able to get into a lobby and not feel like you're suddenly going to get chased, but with a spare benders, just immediately. Anytime you get shot or anytime you're coming around the corner, it's a guaranteed shotgun. Now it's like it might be a shotgun, or it might be someone who just loaded up the game for the first time and has no idea what's going on. It's very interesting feeling the changes in those matches, and I don't know what's good for the game in the long run. I the games that suck, I'm usually like, I'm just gonna leave. I don't have any need to stick through a game that's gonna be bad, so I'll just end up leaving if somebody's going hardcore with the meta. And yeah, I don't know. It's really tough to say.
Yeah, today, so playing Crucible today felt like, so last week I played it and I was like, oh my God, almost all of my lobbies were people who have barely played the game and don't know what's going on. Whereas today it felt sweatier. So I would love to see some actual data, because all I saw today was floofy warlocks, spare benders, and that was basically my entire experience. So, and that's what I was saying last week is, is this going to go the way of Classic Mix, where when Classic Mix was announced and it was no skill-based matchmaking, there was a bunch of people in there. And then a week later, it was dead. And it was just the sweatiest place you could ever be. So I'd like to see some numbers, because I only played for like 2 hours today. So it's not a huge pool to pull from. But it felt like some people are maybe leaving. The bottom is leaving.
I tried to play for a couple hours on Tuesday and for most of the day on Sunday, actually. And I'd say about 75% of my matches I either got booted out of or never match made at all.
What?
Yeah.
I've never had that problem.
I don't know. Maybe, maybe it's like a local thing. I don't know what it is, but like the Crucible is not working for me at all. I'm constantly getting disconnected. I'm constantly just getting booted out of
Did Bungie finally figure out that you've been hacking and aimbotting the whole time? You've been banned?
They heard about that one Zim time that where you like beat up on Bungie people with?
Hey, we don't talk about that.
Okay, so I will say that one of the reasons for the change of SBMM is they wanted to go straight to connection-based matchmaking. Right. I have not felt a real difference in the connections.
It's been worse for me, significantly worse. There's been people that are like teleporting like I've never seen on PC before. It's like PlayStation D1 teleporting.
Yeah, straight up surprising.
What is happening?
And you're like, well, is it connection or is it they hacking? I don't know anymore. That person just sniped me right around the corner. It's like, are they hacking or are they just good? I can't tell anymore.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know. Even the connections. I remember today I got like beavered out of a Rumble match and then came back in and had 0 points. I was like, wait a minute. What just happened to all my points? And then like I didn't see anyone for a while. Yeah, and then it put me right back in. I was like, wow, cool. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Connections are perfect. I mean, that is one of the things that Luke Smith said that we're going to be having peer-to-peer for the rest of for the foreseeable future of Destiny.
Yeah.
So that's
because I'm telling you, it's a PvE game, man. The PvP is secondary at this point. And PvE, that peer-to-peer, works perfectly for what they're trying to do with the game. So
yeah, how do you feel about that, EK? What's your thoughts on that?
Don't say that too loud. Man, they're like, oh man, it's because you play PvE a lot. I was like, dude, I play every aspect of the game. But let's be honest here. If you want to compete and you actually wanted to make money playing a PvP game, Destiny's not going to be the game that you want to get into. But if you just want to have fun, the feel of the guns in the game is, I don't know. It just feels very good. And the sandbox and everything is really nice. Play the game and enjoy it for what it is. But as soon as you try to make the game competitive, whatever you're trying to do, that's when it goes out the window. You're going to be pissed at yourself. You're going to get in matches. You're going to like, man, this guy's using this guy's using that. Everyone says this gun is easy, that gun is easy. Like, everything has a huge hitbox. Like, you can't just sit there and be mad all the time. Why aren't they fixing this? Why aren't they fixing that?
Haven't you ever read Reddit? Yes, you can.
Have you met Reddit?
It's just weird, Like, half of the folks that say all this stuff don't even know how coding or anything works. They're just like, oh, they could just fix it. They could just, stop the hackers just like this. They fix us AFK and forges. They should be able to stop hackers from doing things in the game really quick. And it's just like,
remember when people thought that like Blizzard servers were going to fix Destiny?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's always something.
Yeah.
It's always the next thing. It's like, oh, but this thing, just wait. This is going to fix Destiny.
Blizzard has a technology.
It's going to make it competitive.
They're going to just shove it right in the game, without considering what it's going to change. It's going to fix everything.
Blizzard's going to host tournaments.
Legitimately, that it looked like there could be a competitive future for Destiny. Like, it really did. At the end of Destiny 1, or probably like the last year of Destiny 1, like there was a future that could be seen that included a competitive Destiny. The player base was there. The hype was there. I mean, we saw live crowds go absolutely insane.
Yeah, that's true.
At Guardian Con for, live Destiny Crucible matches. Like, everything was falling into place. They had introduced, custom matches. Like, you could set everything up. You could matchmake with the people you needed to matchmake with. You didn't have to do like that random thing that we were doing in Destiny 1. It looked like things were lining up until Destiny 2 came out, and it was like, oh, okay, they just don't care.
Well,
it did though. Didn't it look like things were lining up?
Yeah, but Destiny 2 was almost created. They took that PvP and almost tried to make a competitive version of Destiny's PvP, and then it was trash because competitive Destiny doesn't work in the way that you think of competitive, right? Like, it's not this slow setting the bomb and watching the bomb. Like, that's not what Destiny's PvP is. Destiny's PvP is mayhem and crazy, and it kind of thrives when it's like that.
Yeah, movement abilities, gunplay, all of that kind of ties into one. Even Bungie put in like, class abilities, all of that was meant for you to have fun and just have a bit of chaos. Mm-hmm. So trying to balance that out is just not going to work out too well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like two sides of the game just contradicting each other when they try to make the PvP side really professional. And it's unfortunate. It's like Gambit, Gambit's great when you have a reduced sandbox that's like specific set of weapons, when everybody's on that page, Gambit's actually amazing. But as soon as you start bringing in the cheese weapons, and it's like, Gambit kind of sucks.
We were talking about that because before Gambit came out, everyone played like at PAX West, Guardian Con. You got to play it, and it was like everyone had the same weapons, and it was like the same sandbox. There was no sleeper, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So it looked great. Yeah, no truth. And then you get home, and you're like, hell yeah, I'm gonna play Gambit. You get a Gambit, you're like, whoa, this is completely different. Everyone has all these other things that they can use now.
Yeah.
Against me. Like, okay, I don't like this game anymore. What's going on here?
First, it was Queen Breakers. Remember Queen Breakers?
Well, I got some bad news, EK, because you got to play it 5 matches a week for the rest of eternity.
3 matches. Don't remind me. Yeah, 3 matches.
Dude, I just don't play the objective anymore. I've been saying this a few times now. Multiple times.
Go after other Guardians?
I've been stacking up 15 motes, doing bounties, and then if I happen to be next to the portable, the portable dumpster,
the porta potty.
drop those motes right in the porta potty. It's great. It makes for some high tension invasions. Carrying 15 motes.
I bet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not planning on depositing them anytime, but
yeah. When I go into Gambit, I don't even care about winning or losing. I just want to get in and get out. Like, you have people trying their butts. I'm like, all right, go ahead, man. I don't know what to tell you. There's no trophy. There's nothing at the end of this. Just play the game. Just play the game.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
you see people get mad and they back. I'm like, why? Just I don't know.
That's why
Yeah.
I liked your point last week, Tufty, where you said that it was really nice to see them say in the TWAB that PvP should be a place for like fun and crazy relaxation. So I was like,
Bombastic.
yeah, you're right. That's what Destiny's PvP should be.
Mhm.
Just this place to go take your crazy ass weapon in and just see what happens.
Yeah. That's the funnest time. Or the most fun I've had in Destiny PvP is taking some crazy thing that I either just got or some loadout that I don't think is going to work and being surprised by it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will say though, with connection-based matchmaking instead of SPMM, I really don't know where that's going to land. I am concerned that bottom part of the population is going to say, why would I ever play this?
I think they're already dropping out a bit. At least that's what it feels like in my limited playtime.
Yeah.
Because before it was like most of the games were people were just not that great. Whereas this time around, it was maybe one match where it felt like it wasn't just pure sweat lords in there.
Do you think it's possible that a bunch of people heard about no SBMM and then, regardless of skill, everybody hopped in to see?
Maybe. But the very bottom, I don't think they even pay attention to Twitter and Reddit and the TWAB and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
We'll see.
Yep.
We will see.
We will see. Give me them numbers. I want to know the numbers.
Right.
What are the numbers, Mason?
The numbers.
Should we talk about the TWAB?
Sure.
Oh, actually, first up, Bungie did an amazing Guardian Con block. Or not, sorry, GCX.
Yeah.
It's not Guardian Con anymore.
Yeah.
Like
Their
amazing doesn't even
incentives-
sound sufficient.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Their incentives were done in like 2 seconds. It was
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
Yeah, they raised, was it a total of $800,000?
800,000
In 4 hours.
in 4 hours.
Incredible. Bungie killed it. Holy crap. And they revealed stuff too.
They did. We got to see Hawkmoon. We know that's coming in September. And we also got to see a legendary weapon.
Okay.
And then we also got to see the concept of stasis. So they showed off, when people are just putting together, like, what do we want to do? We want to make a new subclass or element or whatever. And they just like put pictures in a Word document. And it's like, oh, I kind of like this. I like this thing over here. It's like crystallized and stuff. So we got to see that, which is really cool.
Kind of icy.
Kind of icy.
Yeah. I think it was it was also cool to see like the lead artists, like the woman that basically created like the Halo logo. Like it's just crazy.
That's cool.
Like and then like watching her like make Microsoft, it was cool. It was like
it was really cool.
Yeah. Watching it, I was like, man, that's wild.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
What so Hawkmoon. How you guys feel about Hawkmoon coming back?
See, people ask, and I'm like, well, I don't know, because they've already confirmed that it's not going to be the same gun.
Yeah, no luck in the chamber.
No luck in the chamber. So I'm like, I don't know I don't know what it's going to be. We'll see. I'm hoping that they get away from, we've seen that they're kind of getting away from these like just damage increasing perks. So I'm hoping they take Hawkmoon and do something really cool with that exotic, because we've seen it with Witherhoard. We've seen it with the new rifle that was shown. So I hopefully they can make this.
So you want an actual hawk?
Make it super. I want it to shoot
random.
I want it to go every time I shoot it.
No, random bullet. It's like luck in the chamber of a hawk coming in.
I hope it kept the sound, because I love I love that.
Need the
gun.
sound.
Oh, man.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
It's
understand
iconic.
like why even call it Hawkmoon if it's not Hawkmoon. That's just a gun with Hawkmoon skin if it doesn't have luck in the chamber, right?
Well, we got to give them a chance. Maybe they'll do
we'll
something better.
What do you like? What other perks could you put on it that give it Hawkmoon's flavor besides one in the chamber?
Make it pre-nerf Luna's Howl Not Forgotten.
Help me out here. What's that mean?
You don't.
Yeah.
Maybe-
Where you hit headshots and then it
Yeah.
makes your next shot do more damage.
yeah,
Oh,
like
okay.
a precision thing,
So it's an exotic, yeah, for that. That would be cool.
or even like
People will
I
hate
mean,
it.
I feel like Vorpal would be nice as well because you do more damage to supers. That might be a
Built-in
thing.
Vorpal, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in Vorpal intrinsic along with some other stuff. So it's not just taking up one perk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has unrelenting, killing wind, Vorpal, quick draw, snapshot.
Lord. Oof. You know what? The ability to heal you instead of doing more damage actually would be insane.
Luck in the life bar.
Yeah. Almost like life support. Yeah.
Huh. Okay. It is definitely getting away from Hawkmoon, but yeah. I'm open. I'm open to it.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no idea. We just know that it's coming back.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So
And one of the senior artists there, his name is Tobias, which is my cat's name. And Tomo said, I work with him. And I was like, does he know your cat is called Tobias? And he said no. So that's what I found out. Like, you should have that conversation.
is Tomo
So
intentionally
he
keeping
was
that
saying
secret?
Tobias. I was like, maybe he's embarrassed. He doesn't want to say, you are my cat.
Is
That'd
that
be
like
awkward.
is that an insult or is that like a compliment? I like
I
your
think
name
it's a
so much
compliment.
that I used it to name my cat.
Tobias is
Or,
pretty cool cat.
You're so useless. I named a dumb animal after you.
I mean, our cat was named Merlin. That's a pretty baller name for a cat. So
Exactly.
We
Mm-hmm.
named our dog Finn after John Boyega's character from
nice.
the new Star Wars movies. Didn't realize we should have just named him John because he's actually way more heroic than Finn is.
Cool.
Yes.
So,
So
yeah,
the stream's great. 800,000, absurd amount of money.
yeah, insane.
Last year they
amount.
raised 400,000.
Yeah, so they doubled it. Yeah,
They
it's very
doubled.
That's a big double too. That's not like going from like $25 to $50.
Yeah.
That's going from almost $500,000 to almost $1 million.
wild. Yeah.
That's impressive. Wow.
That's insane.
Yeah. Bravo, Bungie. So yeah, that was amazing. And then one of the incentives was they were going to release the TWAB early, and they knocked that out of the park super quick. That was like what, 10 minutes or something like that.
Yeah.
100 grand.
Hi, we're Bungie. Oh, TWAB's out.
So yeah, let's talk about the TWAB.
There's a patch in it.
Okay.
They fixed the controller targeting or remapping thing.
They
For the run?
fixed the sprint.
Yeah.
Yes. Sprint is fixed.
Sprint's fixed.
So
Right.
that they said they're still looking into like the dodge not working sometimes and storm caller sometimes not being able to call on the storm.
Let's
And,
put that one low on the priority list.
So yeah, sprint is back to normal. I can confirm. I spammed the hell out of it as soon as I got on. I was like, I'm pressing it as many times as possible. It's fixed. Everything's fine.
They also fixed an issue where Wither Horde deals excessive amounts of damage to various bosses. Sad to
Yes.
see this one go.
It was hard to recreate, actually, which was
Yeah, I
interesting.
wasn't able. I never got to try it. I would have liked to try it before it got patched out of the game. They fixed an issue where solo completion of the Prophecy dungeon does not unlock the associated triumph.
Ooh.
Yeah. Thank God.
Glad I waited.
They fixed, yeah, me too. They fixed an issue where various reward resources are dropping at 750 power rather than the Guardian's power level.
Yeah, that was weird.
I never saw that one happen. I'm glad I didn't.
Oh, the 750? Yeah, I saw it a few times where I was like, 750?
Yeah.
The hell?
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
what year am I in?
Exactly.
Or like getting hunter gear on your warlock. Yeah.
I
I
guess there
like
was an
that.
issue with Tommy's Matchbook's Cadillac's quest being removed from your inventory that they fixed.
Skin.
And that's it.
That's the
And
12?
they made a minor fix to beaver errors, whatever that means. They made a minor fix, made it a little bit better, apparently.
Yeah, your BV errors now are in 1080p.
So the beaver lost
They're
weight.
much better than the 720
Yeah.
you were seeing them in before.
Oh,
The Beaver got a new hairdo. Beaver finally got out of the quarantine cuts and got some
Yeah.
super cuts.
yeah.
Don't know if it's much better though.
Beaver upgraded to a new dam.
Yep.
That's
New
good.
treadmill.
Yeah.
That was
yeah.
it, really. There wasn't much in the TWAB.
The NCS get nerfed as well.
Yep,
think-
and Teus Nerf is now here.
Yeah.
hmm
What exactly? It's the delay, right? There's like a delay for it to reproc.
No more super energy either.
Right. Yep.
Let's see, because I can just read it here if I can find it. Oh, they also did manage to fix in the patch today that the issue with trials where people weren't able to visit the lighthouse. So trials will indeed be back.
Oh yeah, they fixed trials.
Nice.
You want to play trials?
They canceled trials last weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
Why did they cancel again?
because people
What's
couldn't go to the lighthouse.
Yeah, you'll get flawless, and then you can't go pick up your loot.
Yeah.
You know, I'm just really like nervous for all those recovs out there not being able to not make that happen for their.
Got bills to pay. Tefty has have a heart, man.
That's what I'm saying. They got bills to pay, man, for the recovs.
You know how much electricity a 2080 Ti costs?
You're right. Well, that's a TWAB right there.
There wasn't
yeah, that
much
was
in
a
there.
thwob if I ever saw
Thwob.
one.
Thwobbing pretty hard right there.
Yeah, I mean, there's after last week's like news explosion, it's a little hard to follow it up, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you know, like I was saying earlier, like I feel like Destiny's in just a better place than it has been. I'm more excited about to be a Destiny player than I have been in a while. Like the changes they made, especially with the Umbral Engrams, to me are a quantum shift in how I am expected to play Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't need to just sit there in Gambit and earn all those, those bounties and everything. I can just play what I want to play, and the Umbral Engrams are going to drop as they go, and I'm going to gain power levels as I play. So I get to do whatever I want to do, enjoy the game however I want to enjoy it, and still feel like I'm making progress toward it, the end goal of, increasing my light and getting cool gear.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think that's it's a quantum shift for Destiny that has reduced the amount of stress that I have when playing Destiny in a huge way.
I think they messed with the Umbrals a bit because some of them were dropping too high. But
Yeah.
you can still do enough to where you can get it to drop at your light, and then you can start leveling up from there. So that's still a great thing.
Yep.
So
But
the
yeah,
power engrams aren't going to drop there anymore. Like those really high ones aren't going to drop
So
anymore.
you get
No, they
3
will, they
per
will.
week. Yeah.
Exactly, per week.
You get
That's
And
3.
then-
that's like
This is
Menagerie.
not
but-
unlimited.
Yeah, I think you get an extra one as well when you rank up the prismatic.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So Menagerie
Yeah.
back in a year ago had the same thing where your first few were power drops and then just gave you regular
Yeah.
ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
But they did
Yeah,
have
and
that.
this
They had that glitch with the armor where sometimes you'd get a power drop for your armor, and they fixed
Yeah.
that. Right.
Yeah, so it's you can still, people are obviously using that to level up faster, which of course it's going to be slower than that, but you can still say like your arms are 1047, but the rest of you is 1050. You can still try and get the armor to drop so it will be at 1050.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
good.
And it's good that you can actually like choose to go after a certain thing. Like if you're going for a heavy weapon, or if you're
Yeah.
going for maybe something that you need on your armor, you have a few chances to just like, all right, this is what I want. Hopefully it drops in my light, and then that helps me min-max to the next level.
Yeah.
So it's still a great concept because like Brian just said, you can go and do anything. You could do nightmare hunts, you could do strikes, whatever you want. You're not tied to just like, oh, go. This is the only place that you can get this anymore. You can do anything you want in the game. And I
Yeah.
think that's how the game should be. Let people play,
Yep.
what they enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah.
The events that drive me the craziest are the ones that make me do one event over and over and over for tens of hours. Like go run Lost Sectors for 20 hours to earn this new thing.
Yeah.
Like that it'll drive me crazy because that's not how I like to do things. Like I like to do a little of this, a little of that, a little of this. Just sitting there grinding one event forever. It's just not how I like it.
Yeah.
What if you load up your PC, your character, you go into a forge and you just let it sit there for hours and hours.
Keep
and
talking.
hours?
Keep talking. Do I have to be there?
No, apparently.
Or can I walk away and make lunch?
Apparently, people walk away and make lunch. They come back 8 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours later, and all these
16
resources.
hours, you say?
And it's still been going.
Interesting. They should patch that out immediately after I finish doing it.
EK, how do you feel about AFK farming?
All right, look, man. I know a lot of people like, man, I pay for the game. I should be able to AFK farm. It's a looter shooter. You're supposed to go shoot stuff and get things. Why are you not? You're not even playing the game. You're not doing anything. You're just AFK. Exactly. Like what's the point? What's the point? Now you got stuff and you're gonna run around and be like, oh, hey, look, man, I got this. And the weird part is like some of these people are like, oh my god, look at my power level. You didn't do anything for your power level. Like
You AFK'd?
you AFK'd.
I'm such a strong guardian sitting in the forge dying. Failing events.
Now, wait a minute. I spent like 10 minutes every 12 hours or so turning in engrams. That was playing the game.
No, but like that's like the same guy, who would be mad if someone else had more light level than them, maybe like in trials, something like that. Something that's like light level enabled because that person did something AFK. So why would you do something if you're gonna be mad that someone else did it to get an edge on you or something like that? It's weird.
I think the funniest thing I saw were people on Twitter being like, I'm doing it so I can be on level for Iron Banner on Tuesday. I'm like, where did you get that from? Iron Banner's not coming on Tuesday. What are you talking about?
I got two things about this.
Just
One
making it
is
up.
if you don't expect Guardians to do this, if it's available, you're fooling yourself. Of course, they're going to take the easiest way of leveling up that's
absolutely.
available. And B, if you didn't think that Bungie was going to patch the hell out of this as soon as they could, you don't know Bungie very well.
Okay.
The thing
Of
that
course they were
confused
gonna patch
me
it right
so
away.
much is what I logged on. I had full Umbral engrams. I turned them in. I went to my postmaster. I had so many engrams. You get like 1 billion engrams just for playing for 5 minutes. So I was like, how do you even have the space if you're playing the game at all? Because they throw them at you.
Yeah. That's the best thing about it. It's like whatever you're doing, you're just getting a ton of engrams. It's fun.
I get so much.
Yeah. But some of the excuses like, oh, I can't do the prophecy dungeon because it's 1040. My first clear, I was at 1022. It's
There you
not
go.
everyone's job for you to you shouldn't be able to do everything the first day. All right. But if you want to do it the first day, go in there at low light level like everyone else. Like there's no reason to be like, oh man, I need to get to 1050. Let me go in this forge at AFK so I can get this done on the first day. Doesn't make any sense. But these are the same people who talk about there's no content. You do all this, you fly through everything that you're supposed to play, and then you get on Twitter. There's no content this season.
There's no content. I AFK'd it all.
I AFK'd it all. Bungie, where's the content? Yeah, I beat the dungeon.
It was so
where's the
easy to
content?
level up this year, guys. What the hell?
It's
No, like-
hilarious. Yeah, what's funny is you can still set up a macro and do it. Like so what they
You
patched
can.
what they patched
Oh, really?
was,
Do you have a link?
what they patched was they kick you to orbit now, so they don't keep you in the queue.
Yeah.
Which is still, it's weird that they kept you in the queue in the first place for the forge. Like, who's going to just sit in forges for hours?
It is weird.
Unless
Yeah.
you're AFK. But so now it kicks you to orbit, but people on PC are like, all right, I'm going to set up a macro and boom, back to it. It's just, I agree with EK on this. It's like, why play the game that way when you're getting empty rewards? Like, oh, this dire promise I got. How'd you get it? AFK farming.
Well,
like-
that's my story with every gun I've gotten in Destiny 2. Where'd you get it?
Yeah, but it's better than an
True.
engram that was in your postmaster, like 30 engrams deep, and it popped open. It was a dire promise or something. Yeah, it's a looter shooter.
If people wanted to do it, sure, fine. I never felt the need to, just because, and I know that I probably play more than some of those people. But yeah, the game has been super, super generous with giving me basically everything
Yeah.
from the new season. So I just never felt the need to do that.
Yeah, but like, okay, I feel like there's a problem with the whole leveling issue
Right.
in Destiny anyway. Like each season you get put back down and you have to climb back up. and you're basically doing the same things to climb back up. And I understand that, like a lot of people, they do their bounties before. I don't even do bounties because I just play the game anyway, right? But it kills the whole entire thing for you, because then you're like, well, I did my bounties, I got my pluses, I'm doing this, I'm done. There has to be a different way to level up in this game.
Yeah.
And light level, I feel like you don't need it much for most activities. I mean, most people are going to probably get to 1075 if they're doing the same thing from last season to do Grandmasters, right? And that's about it.
Yeah.
But there's no other place in this game that you need light level for. So if you play Crucible or other things, maybe you want to get some light level for trials. But the whole leveling system, not too many people need to do it. There's not too many end game players. Like when it comes to the percentage, not too many people are going to be like, oh, I want to do Grandmasters, I want to go flawless every week, right? You shouldn't have to worry about being max level if you're not going to do anything with it. That's another thing that I want to say here, because like some of the content, honestly, I love being under leveled than being over leveled, because once you're over leveled, you're running through everything like, oh, okay, this is like, the first time I did dungeon was fun, and then the next time we did it, we were like, oh, like 1040s, and it was like, okay, this is kind of easy now.
Yep.
So they have to find maybe a good in between. But yeah, like leveling up each season, it feels like you're like a hamster on a wheel. Like it's just the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, so I'd love to see like taking the dungeon this season, for example, like making a harder version of it, and then maybe giving all the armor that drops from there is at least 65 or something, or just some kind of incentive of like, hey, now this thing is hard, so it's more fun to do because it's harder. I know that a lot of us enjoy it when it's like you're scrambling to stay alive, and you can also get better stuff from it. I would love to see them just make harder versions of things. Add contest mode to more stuff.
Yeah. I hope there's a heroic mode to this dungeon. I mean, it's cool because I noticed that like every time I went and got gear, it was 58 or higher. I got like 66s and stuff like that, and that's neat. But why not have that like in different areas in the game? Like don't just have it in something new that just came out. Maybe have it to like if someone's just like playing the game for strikes and they have tokens, let them go to Zavala. Maybe they have a chance to get some of this high stuff. But like, don't have a cap on it where you go to him, you get 48 stuff. Like, what are you gonna do with that? Like, there's not much to do with it. Same for someone that likes to play Crucible and hang out. They get all these tokens. They're not gonna use it much because there's no weapons there that they really want from these vendors. And I understand that
the only thing I use tokens for is at the beginning of a season trying to even out my gear.
Yeah.
Like if I get a prime engram and then try and get the rest of my gear up to that prime engram.
Yeah, that's something that needs to be looked at for sure.
I feel like we're grown-ups playing like a Chuck E. Cheese game where like you get all these tokens, you just wait, to go like redeem your reward to help you level up. And it's like, why? And the artifact thing is cool, but I feel like
I can tell you why, because they haven't changed the vendor gear in like 2 years.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, with the artifact thing, I don't even think artifacts should come with power. Just have it to where people unlock all the things on it. Because like there's no need to have even that much power for some of these things anymore.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel good to have it taken away either.
Yeah, but unlimited power for no reason is just weird too. There's nothing in the game that you need to be like that much power over, especially when they have like deltas and stuff in place for it.
And on top of that, the Grandmasters cap you. So you can't, the place where it should technically be useful, it gets capped at. And it was like,
you're capped off anyway. So there's
like the one thing that's a really high level in the game, you're capped. So you can't even try and aspire to get in that. Yeah, you're right.
It's literally just a number at that point.
Yeah, it's just a number for someone like, oh man, I made it to this. There's nothing else behind it. Because most of the stuff in the game you don't even need it for. What patrol, like if you're going to Menagerie, everything is mostly on the light. Even the garden rate is at 940. We're all in the thousands now. There's no need for power to come from the artifact at all. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it's strange. We were talking about this I think last week about how we had the honeymoon phase of the artifact when the Moon DLC dropped, and we're like, oh, I can't wait to see what kind of excitement comes out of the artifact and what broken things they're going to make. And then they just never made broken things. They were like, oh, was the darkness, what is it? Oppressive darkness. And then like, a few things. That was it. They didn't make anything wild and crazy with the artifact. The artifact was a big letdown. If you're going to review the whole year, it's like, they definitely didn't do the stuff I thought that was going to happen with it.
Plus, artifact does not count in trials, because I think someone just said artifact in trials in chat, but it doesn't count. It doesn't count in trials. Only base does.
Yeah.
So that's another like light level activity right there that the artifact doesn't count in. So what's the point of having power kind of in there if these are end game things?
Yep.
Right. I think only banner that it counts in. And some of the things in the artifact do break the game, but that's just like having people have fun and they get to make all these crazy builds.
Yeah.
But besides that, I don't really see it why they added power to that thing each season. It's cool to learn about the artifact, where it comes from, what's behind it. Each season kind of had a cool drastic thing to it, and even like lore behind it.
Mm-hmm.
That's neat. But everything else, I don't know.
Yeah. I do agree. The whole leveling system in general right now feels really just long in the tooth. It's stressed. It's like strained right now. If you've been playing the game for a long time, you don't necessarily feel excited to like level up. You feel like you're going to do the same stuff again. And I don't know how they could possibly fix that specifically.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Without really overhauling Destiny, right?
Well, that's the thing. I think it's the next big thing that they have to overhaul, because the level system is a core part of the game. It's a huge part of the game. It's like doing Arma 2.0 type level stuff, maybe even more involved than that. But hopefully it's something that they're looking at. I'm sure it is, because I know I've seen them on Twitter saying that we're seeing what you guys are saying about leveling and we're talking about it. So they're definitely aware of how people are feeling about it. I don't know what the answer would be to it, but I'm sure they could come up with something that's better.
How would you guys feel if they went back to D1 style, where your power only came from like the true end game activities? Like you only got it from a Nightfall and raids. That was the only place to actually increase your power.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Because I feel like we have too many power sources, and there's like all this like, I feel like every season everyone has like a list. Okay, here are my powerfuls, here are my pinnacles. I need to do this before that. I need to go turn in tokens to a vendor. It's turned into like a math equation instead of like
power per hour.
Yeah, like if you're an endgame player, you go get those stuff in endgame. And like that's the whole point about going in a raid, grabbing something, going back in and feeling stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like all the raids in Destiny 1, it was like if you did VOG, you had gear that kind of helped you when you went back in. You had weapons that had certain perks, even for like Rhoda's End, against wizards, against knights. That made sense. You felt more powerful because you went into this activity, which was an endgame activity. And you got things for it. Because not everyone, wants to do all these things. So it's just, the power leveling system has to be looked at. And I don't know what they can fix it.
On the flip side of just having it in being a few select spots, if it's restricted to group activities, and anybody who's a solo player is going to get left out completely of any power if they were to like bring it back to what D1 is like. And I don't know if that's the right decision either. I think it's good that like solo players have the option to reach power level stuff. Yeah. But I do think there's power all over the map every week on reset. It does become fatiguing and less exciting as time has gone by with it. Because that was their solution. It was like, all right, well, if you don't have friends to raid with, we're going to give you power from all these things that you could do. Just do 3 strikes, you get a power drop. Imagine in Destiny 1, if you could do 3 strikes and get a raid level drop. Like, that would be unheard of, right? In vanilla, D1, I should say. Yeah. Well, that leveling system, though.
I don't know what the answer is. It's too much of a thing. I'd have to really think about it.
I don't think I've played the game that figured it out.
True.
Most games I play once, and I don't mind leveling through it because I'm doing it once. Destiny, I've been doing it for 5 years, and like that's a unique problem to this style of game that I don't know the answer to. Like maybe there isn't an answer. Maybe that's just how you have to keep doing it,
Yeah. We don't know. We're not game designers.
It's weird. Like you're basically doing the same things that you've done each season at the beginning. Just like imagine this, right? You're doing Nightfalls, and they're like, a 980 when they first came out, and you got to that light. Then all of a sudden, the next season, you have to get up another 40 levels to do the same thing that you just did last season, and that's another thing that they have to work on. Is like, we have the same strikes for so long, right? Same Nightfalls for so long, or like same Crucible maps for so long.
Yeah.
So there's nothing really new for players, whether you play PvP or PvE, because you're basically doing the same things that you did previously to get back to where you were. Even with like when it comes to the trials matches and stuff, like most people are playing the same maps again now. So like, before we know it, 3 seasons or 4 seasons from now, everyone's going to be tired of it because you're basically doing the same thing. It's legit like a hamster in a wheel, just like constantly just getting ready to do the same thing.
Yeah.
That's why I want them to focus more on doing, new Crucible maps, new strikes and stuff like that, instead of here's a sundial, which I think they are moving away from.
Yeah.
Well, especially when the seasonal stuff goes away.
Yes.
Yeah. Strikes tend to stick around. Strikes, Crucible maps tend to stick around for years, where seasonal stuff seems to go away. And in that way, it seems less valuable an effort than something that will be around for years.
Yeah.
And it's weird because a lot of the older strikes had like loot that came out, like DFA came out of True Probabilities. It would have been cool if they like brought that up and gave it random rolls, because that's something for people to do, even like in normal strikes, like stuff that like we had in D1. And maybe they were talking about like bringing all this new gear in September. Maybe stick some of that stuff in different places. Like I remember the Bond Brothers strike. They had the gauntlets and stuff like that. Like that was cool. The big shank. You had like the Warlock helmet or the LMG. And if you kept that's part of the game all the time, then like even with Sunsetting, if those things stood around, people would still farm for it. People would still go after those things, right? Because they know, what, this is going to be around forever because it's part of the game.
Right. Yeah.
And it makes, even if you're not farming for it, it makes every time you are looking at the loot screen on that strike exciting.
Yeah.
Even if you're not farming for it, could this be the time that it drops for me?
Yeah. Even if you're doing your 3 strikes for Pinnacle, and oh my god, I got something I wasn't even expecting. That's the whole point of playing the looter shooter too, like getting things that you want.
For the strikes, getting those type of drops, these unique strike drops from the heroic playlist, not just the Nightfall, I think is a big distinction too, because I feel like the strike playlist gets just run down so quickly of like, well, you're going to get your 3 and then move on, or you're going to test some builds and then move on from it. Like D1, I felt there was a lot more interest to just go in that playlist and play strikes, because you could get some unique things that were only in that playlist, like Driftwood, or actually I guess Driftwood was a drop for the Archon Priest, but you know what I'm saying? It's like there were specific loot to the strike playlist that you couldn't get anywhere else.
Yeah, or even like percentages, right? So if you're doing a normal strike, maybe your percent of getting this item is like a 0.5. But if you do like heroic, is higher. If you do a Nightfall, is a bit higher. Then that gives people a sense of, it's like, if you really want to go for it, then just go do the Nightfall for it, right? Or like if that's the week that comes around, cool. Like think about when everyone was farming for Mindbenders. What if like people can easily just have a chance at it by doing a normal strike, right? You end up in a strike, then people may not leave certain strikes anymore.
Yes,
there are certain strikes that you get into. You're like, I'm not doing the strike as it is crash. I'll see you later. But if that guy had like a cool weapon at the end, maybe like, I'm gonna go through this. I might get the gun. Why not? Like
that's funny thing about that.
Or he could have had, like a cool cloak, like how we had like the Scion cloaks in D1.
Yeah.
I mean, like just small stuff like that would have like drastically.
It doesn't seem like they have the bandwidth to make loot like that though at this point. Like they just can't make enough loot to like spread it out through the game like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. The Mindbenders thing though, if I knew I could get a Mindbenders every time I was in the regular strike playlist and that strike pulled up, then I would definitely stick around for that strike. I'd finish it.
Yeah.
Because I might get the Mindbenders. But right now it's like, 6 health gates and the boss at the end.
Yeah. You can't even like over damage him, even on heavyweight. He just goes right in. I'm like, why is this guy so health gated?
Yeah,
like,
that's rough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's never good.
You want to do some Twitter questions?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right. Gray Boxer says, this one's specifically for EK. Question, you're such an expert at GMs. What can you teach others about positioning and movement in PvE to handle and survive last guardian standing moments late in GMs?
I feel like if you do a strike enough, you kind of know where you can survive and where you can't. And I always talk about angles a lot because you have to know when you can actually maybe attack a certain enemy so you can clear a room. Like perfect example. If I am the last guardian standing in the room and I figure out who's the most lethal in the room, who can hurt me as I'm trying to pick up my teammates, for an example, because the Grandmasters, you have to revive people. There's no way to, like they're not going to come back to life. So sometimes, in most Grandmasters, the ads are the more problematic thing than the champions. Why? Because if you try to go after a champion, that ad can come and shoot you. All these guys can one-shot you. So you basically have to take your time. I've seen a lot of people panic when they're the last person alive. Take your time, see what you can take out, and then slowly work your way up. If you try to rush to pick up your teammate, that's probably going to be a wipe. So I would say just, keep your focus, work your angles, and figure out who's the major threat in your room and go from there. Because there's been plenty of times where, like Trio Probabilities last season, we could have wiped a few times. But you just have to figure it out. You take your time, you take a deep breath, and, I know a lot of people like to panic. Oh my God, I'm the last person alive. There's nothing I can do. Instead of doing that, I'm the last person alive. We might go back to orbit. Let me see what I can do here.
I like to do that and scream bloody murder the whole time.
He's just screaming Wu-Tang the whole time. Every thrall he kills.
Yeah.
Philly Utopia says, is anyone else worried about price point? I found $40 expansions to be lacking in content. Taken King was worth all of $60, but even though I like Atmosphere, Shadowkeep, and Rise of Iron both got old quick. Hope I'm wrong.
You don't really know what's going to be in it.
Yeah.
I think for this September, we're getting, the fact that we're getting a new subclass and a new element and stuff. That is you know for sure that's happening. You don't know what anything else is coming.
Yeah.
So you know that's coming, and that's going to be a big switch up to the game. So I'd probably say that you could be more confident in this September's drop because we know of that. Plus, we're going to get, whatever story mission we get, maybe new strikes or the raid, whatever. So I think this September would be worth it.
I have to admit, I'm not super sympathetic to this question. Like, if there was an option where I could spend like $100 on the next expansion, and everything in the Eververse got spread throughout the game, so I could just earn it and like get it, through playing, I would absolutely go for that option. Like, I would, because that would create like, I don't find Destiny to be an expensive game to play, especially considering the amount of time it takes I put into it. Like at $1 per hour, like value scale, it's as low as it gets, right? It's like, or it's as high as it gets. Like I find I get a ton of value per dollar I put into Destiny.
Agreed.
So
I've never felt on a September release, especially, that I'm like, I spent too much money. I've never had that feeling.
And I definitely have that feeling about other things. Like I've bought other things and then been like, well, I didn't get the value I thought I was. No, probably not. I played a lot of Call of Duty back in the day too.
The most recent, if you bought a recent one and being like, well,
oh yeah, that's mainly because I just don't play that much Call of Duty anymore. But if you look at even Call of Duty, like I don't know how people feel about it today, but back in the day, it felt like one of the best deals of gaming. You got like a campaign that was usually 8 hours and like an awesome campaign. You got multiplayer that was worth untold amount of time, and then often you got like either a zombies or some other kind of like semi multiplayer thing that was also good for hundreds of hours.
That's a good point. Yeah,
I mean, nothing is any Witcher 3, the ultimate value in video games.
Can you imagine that much story in Destiny? Witcher 3 level story in Destiny content, like
I don't even know how you do that. So it's such a different type of game.
Be like, you got to play 80 hours worth of content before you can start getting to end game, man.
Like in a multiplayer game, I don't know if I could do it. Like imagine like having to sit there through like hours of cutscenes with your buddies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, with that question, I mean, I wouldn't even put like Shadowkeep would be on light. I would probably go back to like Forsaken, because if you think about it, we did get new supers.
Yep.
And we did get like a few new places. And Forsaken had a lot going on with, we have the Tangled Shore, the Dreaming City, all these different shifts. And that's basically what's happening here too. We're going to be going to a few different, new places, and some places are being brought back into the game, and we're having new subclasses. So I'm guessing even unlocking all this stuff is going to be worth the money that you're paying for, because if you think about it, there's 3 different characters. That means they're probably getting 9 supers. Like I feel like there's going to be a lot, especially with the build up with the story from the previous seasons. They've been slowly just drawing us in, and this is going to be another big boom for a while. So I wouldn't compare to Shadowkeep. I'd probably say like it's going to be something like Forsaken, like Riven, and all. I think it's going to be pretty neat. So if someone's like, I don't know, I would say go for it.
Mm-hmm.
They're bringing the hype pretty hard for it.
Yeah.
My guess is it's going to be like a Forsaken type expansion. But,
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yep.
Clifton Ampensaw says, I've been playing Destiny 2 off and on and for a while now, and I was excited to get back into the game. I'm low level. I don't have a lot of recommended mods to boost damage output. The new activity is hard to complete. Is the game accessible for casual players, or should I move on?
Man, I definitely think it's accessible. I really do.
Yeah.
Like with the
I do
amount
too.
of, like we were talking about the light level stuff. You can easily get light level in this game, and you don't necessarily you don't have to have Anarchy Mountaintop to be able to take care of some of these encounters. Like that's like the easy button, right? Is using that loadout to take care of it. But you can definitely get it done with other stuff that you can easily get in the game.
Yeah. Blues get you up to the soft cap really fast. I think it took me like a few hours to get up to the soft cap. I was like 50 points under, 40 or 50 points under. I didn't hit max level last season, and I flew up to the soft cap, and now I think I'm 10 under the hard cap now.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's pretty quick.
And the dungeon.
I don't think it's too hard for casual players right now.
No.
Fricado says, what is the one gun in Destiny 2, even with sunsetting or it's nerfed to the ground, you will never shard and just keep it in your vault forever?
Oof.
The Midnight Q.
Yeah, keeping the queue forever.
Yeah, I love that game. I love that gun.
I
love the look of it. I love the feel of it. I love where I got it.
I don't know. There's a few different guns. I'll probably keep my Pillager. To be honest, really good gun.
I think I'm gonna keep my Arantil to remind people how salty they get over a fusion rifle. It's got a few thousand kills on it,
That's true. I think I'd go with my last Perdition, just because I got a really nice roll on that. And it's kind of just the gun where it's like, you know what? Life's a little hard right now. I'm struggling in here. Just throw on the last Perdition. It feels really great. It feels like Hawksaw. And I freaking love that gun. So yeah, probably that one.
Nice.
K Brash says, the only new Crucible maps we've gotten over the last few seasons have been Destiny 1 maps. Do you think we'll get any new maps next season?
When did we get Fragment? Because that's new.
Which one?
That was somewhat recently. The one
was that last season that we got that?
Was right? Or was it Shadowkeep?
People saying Shadowkeep, yeah.
Okay.
It was Shadowkeep. Season of Dawn.
Why is it? I feel
Fragment
like I only
was
play 4 maps when there's 30-something maps in the game. Every time I play PvP.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing.
Like it's
Well, some of them are disabled for the playlists that you like to play.
Look, I'll say that the D1 had some really good maps. D2 had pretty bad maps. So the fact that they're bringing D1 maps forward, changing them a little bit even, I personally don't have a problem with, because I like those maps just as a PvP experience. I enjoy playing on them. So if my options are wait a year for a brand new map or get 3 D1 maps and 1 new map, that's fine. I don't know. I'd like to see new maps for sure, but I would say I don't mind them bringing back the D1 maps after we've gotten all of the really big fan favorites that people like,
Mhm.
and then bringing in the new maps because they were good maps. Like they were good
Yeah,
maps.
I don't know. The new maps are always just weird. Like some of
Yeah.
them are just, I don't know. There's just something about some of the new maps that they come out with. I'm like, how's this balanced? What were you guys thinking when you made this map? Doesn't make any sense. Especially with like spawns and people getting trapped, and it's just, I don't know. A lot of like, I agree with Watts there. A lot of the D1 maps were more fun, and I know that like a lot of people say, oh, they're bringing back D1 maps, but there's a lot of D2 players that never played D1 either, right?
True.
True.
That a Dreaming City map, like what the hell, man?
Citadel, I freaking hate it.
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't like that
what
Mars
happened?
map where one of the spawns is like wide open and has a sight line that goes across the map.
Meltdown, I think.
Is that what it is? It's like literally has you spawn in an area that you can see from the other side of the map.
Yeah, where they can snipe you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
a little
ridiculous.
strange.
It's weird. It's like the worst spawn. And like there's a corner right there. So if they just spawned you around the corner.
Yeah.
I would actually, I would actually rather play Sector from D1 than Citadel.
Sector 618.
I really would.
That's a
Over
throwback.
Citadel is just like, here's these straight ass lines where everyone's just gonna stay in this one spot and never move. Good luck. It's boring. It's slow. It's annoying.
Yeah.
At least on Sector, I could run around with something fun, get in close quarters and have some good times. But Citadel was really bad. Citadel got me to the point where I was like, if this thing pops up, I'm leaving. I'm not dealing with it. It ruins my mood.
It's the
kills
Exodus
me.
crash of PvP maps.
Oh.
It is. I hate it so much.
I don't know what it is, but like I've been thinking about this as I played PvP. Why are the majority of D2 maps bad? Like they are not exciting or fun in
They're
comparison.
not fun.
Yeah,
I think they were made for 4v4, and then they had to put a bunch of 6 versus 6 on the same maps. Maybe I don't know. Maybe when they first like built it, remember how D2 year 1 was? They try to make it competitive all these like other game modes and like planting a bomb and defusing. Maybe that's how they that was like the base of
True.
all the maps. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, we're gonna take this out and put in Clash and Control, and like B is in the weirdest place sometimes for certain maps. And like if you have this spawn, you're winning this match, and it's just like, why?
They were made for the competitive
Emperor's Respite.
Destiny, not the fun Destiny. They were made for the competitive, slow Destiny that we were initially gonna get.
That must be what it is, because I get this like stank vibe from D2 maps where I'm like, what is that
I know
smell?
what you mean.
I'm not feeling this. And then I it's like they unweight the D1 map, so you don't play them very often. But when you do, you're like, oh, this is a good map.
Yeah.
There are some good Destiny 2 maps. Like Javelin, I think is a wonderful map.
Javelin is good.
Javelin's not bad.
I like Endless Veil as well.
Yeah,
I like that
also,
one too.
Mm-hmm.
I like Midtown. I like Midtown now that it's 6v6 better than I liked it when it was 4v4 because I think it's just there's more shit going on.
I think Midtown still suffers from that. This was a attack and destroy or whatever it's called. That game mode. Plant the bomb.
Pacifica, I think, is fun sometimes. It kind of depends on the mode, but like I find that like a lot of like crazy shit happens on Pacifica because there's a lot of like these tunnels and then wide open areas, and people just kind of like come into these wide open areas, and you're likely to, like if you're doing well, like you'll kill one guy and another guy will come in, and you got to kill him, and then like, oh god, it's going wrong, it's going bad, and then oh my god, I can't believe I made it out of this. It's, like that is one of those maps like crazy shit happens in.
I can enjoy that map. It's a map that comes up and I'm not like, oh god.
Yeah.
Here we go.
When are we getting Asylum?
When are we getting Rusted Lands?
We have Rusted Lands.
when are we getting the other Rusted Lance that I can't remember the name of?
The other Rusted.
No, what happens is Rusted Lands never comes up. That's what I'm saying. Hardly ever pops up in the control playlist.
Next question is, okay, Watts, I need your help with this one. Eddie the Black says, do you think a need/greed/pass loot system like in Final Fantasy 14 would work well in Destiny?
Oh, it's just like in many MMOs where when loot drops, all of you see it and you all kind of put in your vote of I need this or I'm going to just greedily take it because I want to use it for something. So no, absolutely not.
No.
No. Can you
Okay.
imagine you're playing? Imagine it goes back to like D1 type of drop rates for stuff. You finally get that perfect roll on something, and someone's like, "I don't need it. I'm just gonna greet it," and then they take it. You need it. No,
Lame.
this is how we make people angry.
They're like,
I
I
think
need
someone.
No.
I think someone went like the Division 2 thing. Like if you're on the fire team and it drops and you don't need it, then if that person was with you, you can give it to them.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
That wouldn't be too bad. But yeah, the greed one, yeah. Because imagine just throwing a public event or something like that. You just worked your butt off because the blueberry didn't want to shoot the blight. You make a heroic, and all right, let's say the dire you want to just drop with the perfect perks, and this douchebag just wants to take it casually. What? Come on.
When you put it like that, it does make me angry.
Yeah, that's a lot of hate mail right there.
Archer says, what do y'all think about how a trading system can be implemented? My friend was telling me a story about how he's trading. There's a trading system in Borderlands, and he made a deal over eBay to buy a God roll gun he wanted for about $4.
If anyone sits there and says that they're against account recoveries, but they're okay with this, you're a hypocrite.
That's fair.
No trading in Destiny. I don't ever want trading in Destiny.
Imagine
I wouldn't mind
imagine
like
AFK
what
farming
EK
and then people
just
selling
said.
stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind what EK just said, where you could trade with the people in your fire team at the end of a strike or something.
Yeah,
like that'd be neat, but not like a online marketplace. No, that's gonna fuck up the game.
Yeah. And like I remember someone was like, why can't they be like Warframe? Warframe has like a actual like good system in there. Like I don't think you could do that for Destiny because oh man. Yep.
It wouldn't work for Destiny.
It wouldn't work. It would just be a pay to play game. People would just pay for everything that they want.
Yeah.
Yep.
You wouldn't have to AFK farm anymore though. Just buy high level gear.
Everyone's just like, doing raids. Oh, I got a 1K or Anarchy. You want it? All right, cool. $20.
All right. Sold.
Oh,
it's gonna save me so much time.
You got your Venmo in your name right there.
That just means like, like if everyone on the fire team has it, you're like, all right, well, if my RNG doesn't give it to me, I'm gonna buy it off of one of these guys. It's just like
Andrew Shank says, would you rather fight one Briar-sized Fran? How did this get here? This should be at the end. Anyhow, one Briar-sized Fran or 100 Fran-sized Briars?
100 Fran-sized Briars.
One Briar
that's a lot of people, though.
That's a lot of people. Fran's not that small.
He's not like it's not like the whole tiny horse situation.
No.
He's not the size of a duck.
Yeah, I'm definitely going with one Briar-sized Fran.
Same.
Yeah,
because he's only my size. So I got a 50-50 shot, and I think I could take a Briar-sized Fran. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
but I don't think I can take 100 Fran-sized Briars. That's a lot of fucking Briar.
Man.
That's a lot of fists.
Former Guardian says, what is all your all-time favorite subclass in Destiny 2? May not be the best or most competitive. It just fits your personal style.
I would
top
say
2 Night Stalker.
I would say
Always.
Bomb Tree, Night Stalker for me.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
But
almost.
it depends on the character because I use all three. So it's just like, I don't know.
What's your main though?
I actually don't have a main. I main all three. Whatever's needed, really.
Well, you did say Night Stalker first, so we're gonna go with Hunter.
Okay. Then. I usually bring whatever's needed.
Yeah, I think top tree Night Stalker for me too, because I just default to that.
Just
I
feels
just
great.
love golden guns and throwing knives. So
Wow,
Go
we're a
Goldie.
biased podcast, aren't we?
no shit.
Yeah, don't say. I couldn't tell from all the warlocks yelling at us constantly about how we hate them and how we must be nice.
It's jokes, guys. We don't really hate. I can't even say it.
Oh man, I replied to Watts's tweet the other day about something special for warlocks. I literally went to Google and I put super advanced trash can, and the simple human trash can showed up. It's like warlocks got a new armor set. It's amazing.
Yeah, that was pretty great.
Actually, we should take a minute while I'm thinking of it. Is that playing a raid as all warlocks is actually one of our incentives for tomorrow's
Do we want to show all the incentives, or we just want to talk about
Might
that
as well, right?
Yeah, should
Yeah,
I pop
let's
it up on the
show it all.
screen? All right. So if
Let's
you're an
go
audio
through it.
listener on Podbean or something like that, you're not
You're
seeing
gonna
this.
have to listen real
Yeah,
close.
You'll have to
If
imagine.
you're if you're listening, or if you're watching this on YouTube, Friday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time is our GDX stream for St. Jude Children's Hospital. We'll be live streaming. We'll be making asses of ourselves. I'm going to read out the donation goals. Why don't I
Good.
just do it that way?
What are we kicking it off with, Briar?
All right, right off the bat, if we raise $2,500, the DCP crew will karaoke the Bug Snacks theme song.
Bug
Beautiful.
snacks.
Just
Bug
talking about
snacks.
Bug Snacks.
Bug
Hey,
snacks.
don't give it away. Don't give it away.
Don't give it.
At $10,000, Tefty gives a Teft lecture to Fran. I'm actually really looking forward to this one.
I'm super
I gotta
excited for
think up
this.
some stuff.
You gotta think. You gotta go deep.
Yeah.
You gotta
You're gonna have to go hard.
ideally hurt some feelings.
Yeah, I know.
Not like
Like
extremely.
I
hurt
wouldn't mind some
feelings.
crying
like
here.
pull some childhood pain out of them or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
If anyone knows Fran's childhood, send us
Yeah.
a DM.
Send me a tip, please.
At $12,000, everyone licks hot sauce and then recites a lore piece together. Kind of a hot sauce challenge.
Kind of
Yeah.
like Hot Ones, yeah, where they ask you questions about your life, and you're like, when I was 5.
At $15,000, Tefty will do a full stream day of Dream Daddy. If you haven't seen that game, this is going to be a wonderful stream.
I actually have not seen the game before. I've just
Oh, it's great.
read memes about it, so I have no idea what I'm in for on Dream Daddy.
It's an awesome game. $17,000. This one's Eric. $20,000. Fran does his
gets-
own makeup.
Briar, what was that
17,000. What is this? Briar gets his makeup done live by his wife?
Yeah, my wife's gonna
wait.
come and help me do some makeup, a makeover.
Yeah.
This isn't normal for you, Briar? Every day?
Not live. Usually she does it before. You know,
Before the
this isn't easy. This doesn't just happen when I wake up. At $20,000, Fran does his own makeup and sprays his hair blue.
Wow.
So we're gonna have a makeover going on.
Yeah.
Makeover time.
$25,000, Watts gets her haircut and dyed to look like Mitsuri from Demon Slayer.
And I'm talking like the haircut. It's gonna look bad. I'll make sure that Tufty has a picture that he can put on screen.
Nice. There you go.
For tomorrow. But if you Google it, a full haircut and hair dye of. Yes.
Ooh.
Oh, wait a minute. This one's in the middle, but it's at $5,000. Watts will do a cosplay stream, a DCP show, and a photo shoot at Mitsuri. At $5,000, discount price of $5,000.
Discount right in the
It
middle.
was supposed to be right after the haircut thing. So if you have the haircut, then it's a mistake.
Tell me there's a typo in here?
DCP always has typos.
$30,000 DCP plays Jackbox games. At
Ooh,
$35,000,
nice.
DCP sing along with Fran on the
Nice.
guitar.
Mm-hmm.
$40,000 DCP cosplay episode hosted by Tefty as Alf.
Alf, let's go, freelancers.
$45,000 official DCP intro theme song produced by Tefty.
Uh-huh.
I wanted this one to be at $1. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just wanted, I just was being selfish and wanted a theme song.
This one is long overdue, let's be honest.
That'd be so cool.
At $50,000, DCP PS4 Trials Day. That's probably the worst incentive on this entire thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's just gonna be full of you guys being like, "My eyes, I can't see. Where is he? I don't know where he is. I'm so
Me and
confused."
Tefty bitching up a storm.
Yep. Mhm.
At $60,000, DCP All Warlock Raidathon and must compliment Warlocks the entire time.
Whoa, I didn't realize that was in there.
Yeah, that was.
You
they
gotta
sprung that one on
be
us.
super nice about warlocks for all of the D2 raids.
I'm gonna need like a cheat sheet. Somebody send me a bunch of compliments for warlocks.
You're floating nicely.
We also have a stretch goal, which is a DCP 4-hour long special.
Stretch goal.
4-hour DCP.
That's a long time.
That is.
We're gonna get a lot of stuff's gonna come out there in that one. It's gonna be
That's a jumbo show right there.
feelings are gonna get hurt. We also have some donation incentives. If you donate $30, you get entered for an Astro Gaming headset and a Scuf controller. At $100, give a DCP host a challenge or loadout.
We will be playing Destiny, so you can donate
You will.
$100.
I'll be playing The Witcher 3.
You can give Briar a challenge within The Witcher. So
I'll be AFK streaming.
At 30,000 though, it says we're going to be playing Jackbox games. Is that going to be live when we're streaming it, or
no? We need to be
No, I think
very,
that'll be a
very
separate
drunk
stream.
and very rude, which is
Okay.
not good for the kids.
right?
You
Yeah,
can't
good
talk
point.
about vibrators and weed on a.
Well, you
challenge.
can, but it's
True.
frowned upon.
You can, but you might get yelled at.
That doesn't get you invited back.
We have to be very,
$300
very drunk.
gives all of the DCP hosts a challenge loadout. And for every $500 raised,
5,000.
we will spin
5,000.
the Wheel of Doom.
Wheel of
Watts, what's the
Doom.
Wheel of Doom?
So, Wheel of Doom is still being put together. We have a few things on there, which is why I wanted to ask you guys if there's anything you want to see us do that's really embarrassing and awful. Please let us know. But it's stuff like it can be IRL things, like you can have someone maybe have to put a sticker on their face, or they could draw something on them, or maybe they have to do a shot of the hot sauce from the hot sauce challenge.
Oh,
Or
God.
it could
that
be
could be dangerous.
Listen, there's no
It's the
penises.
You
Wheel
just
of
changed
Doom.
what hot sauce I'm going to be buying for the hot sauce.
There's no dicks on the forehead, all right? Because it's a St. Jude Children's Hospital research
And it could
stream,
also
all
be
right?
in-game stuff, like you can have someone ADS only for the entire game or something a little bit. So
I
it could
had
be
suggested-
IRL stuff. It could be
I
in-game
had
stuff.
suggested solo karaoke with a mouthful of peanut butter.
Yep.
And
That.
Oh,
I had
man.
suggested you have to refer to yourself in the third person for the next hour.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stuff
These
like
things like maybe you have to do an impersonation of a fellow podcaster for.
Got it.
I like it.
You have to do reckoning.
Oh no.
That's just being techy. Why do you have to go there with it? You know? Why do you got to get nasty?
Mm-mm.
We should have put a challenge on there. Have to acquire the Reckoner title.
Oh Jesus!
Good luck
Hey.
with that.
So again, that's tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern time, or if you're listening to this on Friday the 19th, it's happening tonight. If it's 8 p.m. on Friday, the 18th, you're missing it. Get over to Twitch.
Good God.
Yes.
We need your help.
Here you go.
Yeah. So it should be a good time. Hopefully, we raise a bunch of money, and hopefully, the incentives are somewhat exciting for you guys to
Yeah,
want to give a bunch of money to an awesome cause.
absolutely. Yep. Cool.
Next question. Kai says, hello, DCP. I wanted to ask you, do you think the Crucible maps on the planets that we're going to Mist of the Darkness are going to be removed as well?
No, because they haven't said so.
I mean, lore-wise, it would make sense, but it would suck gameplay-wise.
I don't think so. Like, I don't think they're going to remove it just because they've had a pop up in game. They've listed it all out of what they're getting rid of, and they haven't said it.
Yeah.
So,
Randall Allen Schaefer says, G-Tag goatee. What's that mean? GTAG? G-Tag?
Grand Theft Auto?
probably a gang. We should ask our fellow local narc
Gamer
Testy.
tag.
What does that mean?
Gamer tag?
If the stranger is not a guardian and does not have a ghost, how does she spawn a sparrow?
Maybe she just like bought a bike.
Yeah.
I'm
Right?
sure
Can you
people
just buy a
own
sparrow?
bikes.
Yeah.
She's part of Braytech technology. They can transmat stuff however she
Yeah.
wants. Yeah. Come on. Ghosts
Come
do not
on.
have proprietary technology on transmatting a sparrow out of thin air.
I gotta tell you, Randall, if this is what you're worried about in the lore of Destiny, we need to talk. There's other shit you gotta be worried about. There are warlocks floofing in the air and tossing fire grape balls at you. Sometimes rapidly, repeatedly. Bubba J77 says, the apocalypse is tomorrow. What game are you going to play one last time?
One
Ooh.
final
The game of
round.
life. It's going to be the last round of that.
One more round of life.
The game of hugging your family members.
Right?
That's probably a better idea.
I don't even think I would think about playing a game if that was the final, There's no. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
True.
Let's say though, you were like for some reason locked into a game vault, and it was the last day. All right, let's stretch the theory of this further. What game would you pick if you were in some weird room that gave you access to every single game ever made?
Are there any Watts' anime games in there? Because I might want to,
Breaking out of
rub
the
one
room.
out.
Find the key to the lock.
Hmm.
Honestly, maybe like Crash Bandicoot or even like the original just like James Bond game, like old school, like first things that like I played when I was a kid, maybe.
Little
Some
nostalgia.
Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
I'm the only one who gets to play it early.
The new games, yeah. Yeah, I feel like something lighthearted and nostalgic. Because
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's your last day, you're gonna want to
Last
feel
day, yeah.
some nostalgia.
Yep, something you haven't played in a while. Maybe like one of the first Zeldas you ever played, or just
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Blink 148 says, I really missed the loadout system we had for our weapons in Destiny 2 Year 1. I don't want the double primary loadout forced on me again, but I started thinking, what if the double primary loadout had its own Crucible playlist game mode? I don't think the game supports having different playlists that have different types of loadout.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem
In
that
that
Also,
way.
we need less Crucible playlists.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Who wants to play anything but Scorch? Just run around with a big cannon and that's about it. That might be the most balanced game mode. Just run around with a big fire.
because
pit.
everybody's got a Scorch Cannon.
Yeah.
That's make a good
Yeah.
point, actually.
Yeah.
Jay Cooper says, after choosing to align with the Drifter or Vanguard some time ago, do you think those consequences mentioned will come into play in the fall expansion?
I hope he just calls me a snitch the entire time.
Yeah. Calls my warlock a snitch a lot.
Hmm.
I mean, if it's going to happen, it should happen now, right?
Yeah.
We are lore experts, so we do know.
Clearly.
I mean, I don't feel like it's gonna play that much into it because the Drift is gonna be more busy trying to help us, right? Save our universe. So I'm not sure about that actually. I was hoping since we went back into the 9 and even the dungeon, we were going to, they were going to finish off the story between like the Drifter and what he had with the 9, but none of that was brought up either. So we'll see. This season, anything can happen. That's why I'm like, hopefully they build up so much that like there's, so much to look for. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Dan says, what's worse, deleting all your characters to have 3 warlocks until Destiny 3, going up against a locked mountaintop and spare ration loadouts in the Crucible, or purposely crashing the plane and having to rub Briar down with Cool Ranch for a slow roast? What the fuck, Dan?
What the?
I didn't read the whole question before I put it in the question.
I feel like that question was made so you can have one answer.
Clearly, it's crashing.
Well, I look forward to the rub down.
Clearly, we're roasting Briar.
I did say we should have a GCX incentive where we actually eat Briar, but it was kind of a hard sell.
That got a little dark. All right.
Oh, man.
I would rather go into a locked mountaintop and spare ration Crucible match than have to play 3 warlocks until Destiny 3.
Is that because it's impossible? Because you can't use those guns together?
Both. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So you could just choose that and go, oh, looks like you can't do it. Unfortunate.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, I win. Let's see here. Bender7 says, do you think it's possible that 3D Doritos are not evil, but are actually just trying to mate with the Traveler? The silver tree on Io could be an egg of the Traveler. Maybe the 3D Dorito chips are only here to fertilize it, much like how fish procreate on Earth.
How did
this spreading the seed, guys?
Why
are you hating?
Sexual thing? Why?
They're just trying to knock one out
by the tree.
Okay.
It's a good looking tree.
Marvin Gaye Sexual Healing starts playing as soon as they get close.
Yeah.
That's going to be the next live event. Hell yeah, I'm excited.
Wake up.
Next live event, you just see a tree and the Traveler just... Yeah, that's weird.
That is a strange thought, that's for sure. Also, I'd be really disappointed if Bungie flipped it and said the darkness was not the enemy or what. You know how like there was a theory about the Traveler is actually the evil one or something like that?
Well, so in the newest story mission, Eris was talking to the darkness again, right? And they were saying that they see the Traveler as being something that's holding us from our potential, that we need to actually break out from the Traveler to grow, which is interesting. So the darkness is like, we're our salvation. We're here to help you. We want you to spread your wings and fly, little birdie.
I don't know. I think the Traveler's about to get me too'd from the darkness.
Briar snorting. Briar snorted again. That's when you know.
Oh, man.
Jay Cooper says, do you think they should bring back the ability to reroll weapons at the gunsmith?
No.
No, definitely not. That was not good Destiny back then.
The Omega 222 says, Boltcaster 2, Electric Boogaloo, or You Spin Me Right Round remastered.
You spin me. It's got a weird ass thing where you're done with the spin, people could still walk into it and die and just like
also
it's really weird.
Everybody just walking around going, you spin me right round, baby, right round, over and over again. That's more fun.
That is more
Electric
fun.
Boogaloo also strangely got picked up like by the racists.
They did?
Like as like code for like a race war. Yeah. That doesn't do a little Google in on Electric Boogaloo and you'll find some dark shit.
Oh man, that sounds
that is disappointing, man.
Yeah.
Well, guess who? I'm never using that sword again. Spin to win.
Spin to win it is.
What sucks about it too is because that movie, Breaking 2 Electric Boogaloo, is filled with nothing but joy and happiness. It's the purest source of happiness in the known universe, and the racists had to come around and wreck it.
Yeah.
It's almost like they wreck everything.
Yeah.
Drag says, I started trying to grow a full beard. A month later, the mustache and goatee parts are growing nicely, but the rest is a little sparse and patchy. Any advice?
Whiskey. Scotch.
Drink your troubles away. Nice advice there, Taffy.
Put some hair on the chest.
A little bit of drop of the nuts. I
don't know how old you are, but sometimes it takes a little longer for the rest of the hair to come in on the sides than around the mouth. But if you just shape up the stuff you got, mustache and goatee, that can be a good look for you. You know, and then maybe in 10 years you give it another shot with a full beard, or I wouldn't rush it. Everybody doesn't have to have a beard.
Yeah. Also,
only the coolest people, you know what I'm saying?
Oh man.
Maybe it's just not meant to be. Maybe you're just one of those people who can't grow a beard.
my beard didn't come in until like my late 20s.
Yeah.
Like full, I basically rocked a goatee.
I refuse to believe that. I remember seeing mini Tefty, 7 years old, full beard.
True. Yeah.
Baby Tefty.
My mom
Running around.
Mom took a double take as soon as I was born.
Where's my beard oil?
I popped out of the womb with a full beard, and my mom was like, "Put it back."
Damn it, Mom, I'm a dapper dead man. Sam says, what is one game you think everyone has to play in their lifetime? Has to.
Tetris.
Ooh,
It's just fun. I don't know.
that's a good choice,
It is.
actually.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
You know, I might have to say Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was a pretty special experience. Because it's a classic game. You get the classic experience, but the way that they did it was just really great.
Yeah.
Fucking batshit crazy too. In the best of ways.
It's the best.
Yeah, the remake, the Final Fantasy VII remake, just really like transcended the typical gamer feel into like, this is a magical game. This is one of those special gaming experiences that doesn't happen too often.
Witcher 3: The Wild Hunt.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Everybody should play. It is magical.
It's a great game.
Zygerian says, question, would you rather get 15 Rotten Tomatoes in one sitting or swim a mile in sour Skittles and Warheads naked? Whoa.
Rotten Tomatoes is in, are people rating me?
I think
Like they're rating me 15 out of 100? That's a pretty bad score.
I think they're throwing them at you. Isn't that what they do? I think they're throwing tomatoes at you.
Can you read this again?
Yeah.
Would you rather get 15 Rotten Tomatoes in one sitting
Get
or
15?
swim a mile?
Get that? What does
Yeah,
get
yeah,
mean? What am I?
Sitting? Am
I mean,
I
what do you-
sitting on the tomatoes?
Yeah. Am I getting the tomatoes and sitting on them?
Am I
Rotten?
just getting them to keep?
Am I just
Zygerian, we're going to need a follow-up on this one.
Yes.
because it
just
doesn't
need
say
clarity
eating.
here.
It doesn't say wearing. It doesn't say.
I'm just gonna swim with the Skittles.
You just get it over with, no follow-up.
Yeah,
Fuck it.
Yeah,
It's only Skittles. How bad can it be?
Oh, wasn't it like the sour ones?
It's the most delicious swim of my life.
Yeah, I'll just eat my way there. Oh, I'm drowning. Oh, wow. Okay, cool.
Dreadnought says you invented a new alarm clock called the Rude Awakening. What does it do?
Actually wakes me up. No, anything that wakes me up is awful.
All right, you know what? It'd be perfect if it had like Samuel Jackson's voice and it just comes up and it's like it just curses you the hell out.
Yeah.
That'd be the perfect thing. Is a rude awakening.
Yeah, that's rude. Yeah.
Yep.
That would work. I feel like you could do something like what's a weird way to be woken up out of a dream or something?
Sticks
Just
your
grab-
finger in your ear. It gives you a
Yeah.
Water,
every morning.
I thought, Briar, I thought you were gonna say stick your finger somewhere else.
warm water.
You went with ear.
Warm water in your wrist?
Yeah.
Makes you pee the bed every morning.
Yeah.
Damn it. This alarm clock, man.
It just drops a cup and your chance just goes right in it. Oh, this
It
feels
leans
nice.
over and whispers, "I'm pregnant," into your ear.
Oh man.
I think those are all good suggestions for a new alarm clock called the Rude Awakening. Dr. Eric Diebler says, sandwiches are great. What is the best sandwich? The veritable king of sandwiches. Which one would be in second place? The lobster roll, Cuban, pork banh mi are my top picks. What's the worst commonly available? That's a lot of questions, Doctor. How about the best sandwich of all
Good
time?
God.
Why don't you check your roll,
I
Doc?
like sandwiches. Next.
What kind of sandwich?
It's any sandwich. They're all great.
Any sandwich?
All
Yeah,
sandwiches are
yeah.
created equal.
Sandwiches.
But you know
I
what?
just like sandwiches.
If you've been in Florida, Publix has like this like chicken tender sandwich, and like
Is it like
I
buffalo
felt-
flavor?
yeah, it is one of the best sandwiches you can ever have. Like
Really?
if you ever
From
end
an
up in
unlikely
Florida,
location.
Publix, yes, go to Publix and ask them for their like chicken tender sandwich. You are not going to get disappointed.
How's their bread? Get good bread at Publix?
Yeah, they have good bread and yeah,
Good bread.
made daily and everything. Yeah, because I had a Publix on my campus when I was in college, and yeah, it was really good.
Nice.
It never disappointed. So that's a sandwich I really. All right, yeah, that's the place to go.
See, I have a tough time with this because I'm gluten free. So my sandwich options are extremely
Ooh.
limited. Sandwich places are limited. It's always
I was
like
thinking of you actually, Tefty. My
Yeah?
wife brought home new dog food and it was gluten free. I was like, oh, Tefty can eat this.
thanks, Pryor. I
you know.
appreciate that, man.
Thought I'd mention that.
Gluten free for the dog, huh? Dog celiac? Huh. Amazing.
Oh, man.
But there is a place in Sacramento called Pushkin's, and it's all gluten free. Everything you can even get like fried chicken gluten free because their whole kitchen is gluten free, and they do sandwiches and they're really good. They even have these vegan sandwiches, and I'm not technically vegan, but I'll eat them because it's actually really delicious. There's got one called the Boulevard. The bread's good too, Briar. Like, you know, I'm about that too, man. It's got to have the right crunch and all that, and they do it good. Yeah. So I guess that place for me, but you know,
I gotta
Gluten-free.
say, eating dicks with your friends at 2:00 in the morning after doing karaoke, drunken karaoke all night, one of the best sandwiches I've ever had in my entire life.
that was
True.
good.
That was one of the best days ever. You have you do not truly know Tefty until you have gone to Dick's with him. He's at a trash can. He's really drunk.
There you
and
go.
he's
Trash can
explaining
Dick's.
random things to you. Yeah.
Wayne says, would you rather have to wear a watch that was constantly 2 hours and 37 minutes slow,
Ooh.
or have to wear clothing that was constantly one size too small? Oh, all clothing, including underwear,
yikes.
socks, shoes, hat, etc.
No.
You can't get the watch fixed, and it doesn't matter if you lose weight.
Ugh.
I'll take the watch.
Definitely
The
the
watch
watch.
for sure. The other one is
Yeah.
physically painful.
Yeah,
My
No,
wife
no
already
thank
has that watch, and she's getting along fine.
that's like a forever wedgie, and oh my lord.
Yeah, your blood
Ugh.
constriction, blood flow getting
I don't even.
constricted.
I mean, if I used a watch, if I had
Can
a
you
watch,
even
I wouldn't
walk?
even use it anyway. I just look at my phone. It's fine.
It sounds
It's not
awful.
the place you get the time that much
Nah.
anymore, is it?
I just
Oh my
ignore
God.
it.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to time anyway, so it's all good.
Yeah, why can't you just look at your phone for the time?
Yeah, I'll just ask someone else for the time. Hey, what's the time?
Yeah,
Cool, thank you.
I
Time
gotta
to buy a
watch.
new watch,
I gotta watch for the heart rate, man. That's it.
right? I like the weather probably when I look at the time.
Yeah, you would get used to it too. You're like, okay, this is the time. Okay, well, this is not really the time, but now I know the time all the time.
Yeah,
You know, it's like,
exactly.
It's like second nature. Yeah, you have it the whole time.
Yeah, you start creating a prediction system because it's always consistent. So you just
Yeah.
then start predicting the 2 hours, 37 minutes. time
Yep.
gap.
I honestly think if I had this watch, it would improve my life because one of the problems, or one of the biggest problems me and my wife has, is I'm always on time and she's always running late. So if I suddenly started running late all the time, I would get less mad at her for making me wait all the time.
There you go.
Nice.
Not So Gamer says, where was the most inappropriate / most embarrassing place you've farted?
Oh my.
I don't get out much.
Yeah, me neither.
Have you ever let one go out on stream and it got picked up by the microphone?
I don't think so. No.
Yeah.
No, it didn't get picked up by the microphone.
Did you, Briar?
Yeah.
I've seen it happen though. I saw it happen at a high school. Like I can't remember who was talking, but like a student was up on stage on the microphone and farted, and it got picked up by the microphone.
Oh my god. Oh, that happened like what was it? College graduation. I was like, man, who let it loose in here? We have to like wow. Okay, cool. So
Graduation
we're
nerves.
we're graduating, and someone decides to let it loose. Oh man. It's all enclosed. Everyone's like in the same room. I'm just like, some douche just waited for this moment. There's no way. Oh.
Maybe they had the 14 Rotten Tomatoes.
Ugh.
Who upset stomach?
You know what? Another thing that's like worse is like when you're at a gym during the summertime, like a basketball court, and someone decides to fart and there's no AC in the gym. That is the worst. Oh,
Yeah.
I can see it
that's
flipping
rough.
out too. You're like in the middle of like a guard and
yeah.
your legs are wide open. You don't know which way you're gonna go, and all of a sudden, whoa! One
Man,
slipped by me. I wasn't guarding that good.
I remember leaving early sometimes. I'm like, man, this is not good. I might faint. This is
Pass out level.
yeah, it was that bad.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm less likely to get embarrassed about a fart. I'm more likely to do the cup and waft action to like my neighbors. Like, hey, check this out. This is really impressive.
Yeah. You're jarring a fart.
All I can think of is like when you do like the sneeze and fart or something, and people are just like, "You are a mess. You're over there coughing, sneezing, and farting. What are you doing?"
Just sneeze and fart.
Yeah, the good old sneeze and fart.
It's classic. My wife says that when I'm sleeping, sometimes I do the grunt and fart. And then fart.
Oh man.
It's like there's intentionality to it, but you're sleeping. Like you're trying to fart.
Oh man.
Jason Gambuda says, if the fate of the universe relied on either Briar or Tefty sacrificing their beard forever, who would you choose to curse?
Oh, I thought you'd say who would be more likely to actually save humanity by doing it instead of being like, screw you guys, I'm out.
Well, if it's, is life ending or going on after the beard sacrifice?
Yeah, the fate of the universe relies on it. I assume that life ends if one of us doesn't get the job done.
Yeah.
I don't see how either of us would say no if it's the fate of the universe, right?
Yeah, but we got to choose which one it's going to be.
Not it.
It would be funny if you like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and then all of a sudden you both take it off, and it never grows back. Oh man,
Heartbreaking, right? At least the
I don't feel
universe.
like I'm that attached to it. I would actually take one for the team. I'm not that attached to it. I
Yeah,
mostly
right.
grow up because my wife likes it.
I grow it because I have a logo.
Yeah, there you go. It's like part of your branding. Awesomeness says, what mood should Briar be in before he is eaten? Do you think a terrified Briar tastes better than a happy Briar?
what in the hell?
Briar, you have to
Thank
be.
you. Thank you, EK.
You have to be like put into a hammock for 1 week, so you don't move. Veal Briar. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Feel
man,
Briar. Well, I'm glad you didn't go with terrified.
Basically sedated.
Well, so like the best meat is from cows who have been, massaged, looked after, had some
Happy
playtime. we will send Briar to like a massage playtime.
Well, no, never go on a massage day with Watts.
Hey, Briar, I got you a spa day coupon.
I'm out.
I'm busy that day.
Zachary Richard says, hello, everyone. You guys are in a restaurant and the server comes to your table and sadly regrets to inform you there is no more braised Briar leg. He suggests if you want any of the following instead, some tefty tenders, a Wagyu Watts, or filet of Fran. What do you choose?
I mean, I'm walking out of the restaurant.
I love Wagyu beef.
That's what I'm saying. Wagyu's like top tier beef.
Mm-hmm. I'm choosing myself.
Yeah,
I know. Watts feeds yourself well too.
Come on,
that's a grain fed Watts right there.
There you go. Also, tefty tenders. Come on, tenders.
That's tough meat, I bet.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll just take some water.
That's understandable.
The Mohican 9 says, would you rather look like Jar Jar Binks or talk like Jar Jar Binks?
Talk, for sure. Could you imagine how famous you'd be as a streamer if people load up stream and they're like, oh, look at this cool guy, Tefty. He's got this beard. He's super chill, laid back. And then you end up talking like Jar Jar.
Famous or infamous?
No, it doesn't matter.
Infamous.
It does matter.
Actually, EK, where do you stand on Jar Jar Binks?
I don't know.
Are you a Star Wars fan?
I don't know. Yeah, but I don't. The voice is just it doesn't do it for me.
What about sums it up for Jar Jar?
Yeah. If I
just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, if I had to, I guess I'll take the voice. But oof, I can't imagine just walking around, using that voice and talking to people. Oh man.
Right, could you do an impression of I know you hate Jar Jar so much, so you probably have a very accurate impression of Jar Jar.
Who, me?
Yes.
No, I'm not doing that.
All right, that's going on the Wheel of Doom.
Oh no, that's an awful thing for the Wheel of Doom.
I mean, it's easier to just shut the fuck up and never say anything when you're in public. You can't really just not be seen,
If you look like Jar Jar, yeah.
Yeah, like, so I don't want either. Both are terrible, terrible fates that I wouldn't wish upon anybody but my fellow co-hosts. But I would rather talk like them than look like them.
Well, I'm saying, some people actually like Jar Jar Binks, like Eric's likes.
And as we have come to learn, those people are monsters.
Fans of Jar Jar tend to be monsters.
I'm not saying everybody from the British Isles is a monster. I'm just saying only the ones I've met. Hugo Rude 79 says, oh, this is the last question of the night.
Okay.
If you had the power to bring down planes with your mind, would you be able to resist doing it just once? Just to check if you really could? Or would you do it loads anyway, laughing at the destruction you have wrought?
Can I think what I'd wait for like an opportunity where maybe we're getting attacked or invaded, and then I'm like, all right, here's my chance. If it works, I save the world. If it doesn't, we're all dead.
Yeah. Because I look at it this way too, like, that's there's a lot of innocent people on that plane.
Yeah, right.
Why would you even risk that? There's so many different patterns of life on that plane. Someone might be going to see their parents for the last time or something. There's just so many different situations that can be on that plane. So why would I want to endanger that in any kind of way?
Yep.
Unless it's like Watch just said, if you're protecting something, then cool. But yeah, like, why would you just want to like?
I got the solution.
Yeah.
You have somebody fly a drone, crash the drone. There you go.
There you go.
Briar was actually sitting there the whole time EK was explaining, going, ooh. It's
Look,
going to be real awkward when I say
if that was my superpower, like, I'd be like vacuuming and like stub my toe. Fucking 7 planes would come down. It'd be bad news for plane rides. Like,
And what if you can't control it either? Like,
yeah,
That'd be rough, right? You get drunk, suddenly it's like planes going down.
I was not a good kid either, so like bad shit would be going down.
Oh, if you got it when you were a kid, we're all doomed.
The world would be a different place right now. All right, that's it. That was the show.
Awesome. That was solid.
That was a lot of fun.
So, and quick reminder, DCP crew, we're doing the charity block at 5 p.m. Pacific time, Friday or tomorrow for us. If you're watching live, if you're listening right now, it's going to be 5 p.m. Pacific, the day you're listening to this, unless you are a late comer to the podcast over the weekend. So yeah,
and it's a 4-hour block.
It is, yes.
Turn up any point during those 4 hours. It's going to be a good time.
Show up twice. Take a nap halfway through.
There you go. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's gonna be fun. It's always a highlight.
It's always fun. We always have a ton of fun doing these things. We always get super silly. My stomach hurts from laughing so hard whenever we do one of these things. Yeah, Pope's gonna be there.
Pope's gonna be there. Fran's gonna be there.
It's gonna be good. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. Definitely looking forward to it. EK, where can people find you on the internet?
You guys can find me at twitch.tv/Ekuegan. I've been uploading a lot more on YouTube as well. So if you look up my name on YouTube, you can find my channel there. And on Twitter, it is my name, and I do have an underscore right under it. But yeah, that's about it. And you can probably find me live on Twitch a lot. Like, you could probably go to sleep and wake up and I'll still be there.
29-hour streams.
That's not a nap. You can get full like REM sleep cycle and EK's still going.
That's awesome, man.
Yep.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you back on the show, man. So
yeah, good to see you.
Yeah.
Yep. It was a pleasure to be here.
Briar, where can people find you? Getting roasted?
You can find me researching SCART cables for classic video game systems, or buying 25-foot HDMI cables that are apparently the wrong spec for what I need.
Bummer. Watts.
I am Miss 5000 Watts. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. Just look up Miss 5000 Watts.
And I am Tefty Teft. You can talk to me at Teft on Twitter and catch my streams, twitch.tv/Tefty Teft. And also, there's going to be a side quest on Monday, 1 p.m. Pacific. We've got some stuff, EA Play, all that, the things that have been shown this week that we'll be talking about. And yeah.
Last of Us 2 is coming out tomorrow.
Last of Us 2 is
It's
coming out
right now.
Oh, God. Oh, is it really?
You can play it right now. Yeah.
Wait, it's not 9 p.m. yet. Sure about that?
9 p.m. Eastern, wasn't it?
Oh.
That people could play it? If you play it,
That was 2 hours ago. What are you doing here?
Or is that people that got given the code?
Maybe they got
play
given
it.
my code or something.
Maybe that's the embargo.
Oh, it could have been the embargo, yeah. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot to talk about on Side Quest. 1 p.m. Mondays, Pacific time Mondays. And yeah, thanks for watching. Shout out to all of our Twitch supporters and our Patreon supporters making the show happen every week. And thanks for watching live or on YouTube or on the podcast syndication places. We'll see you next week for another show. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
GG's. Bye.